Hi ladies and gentlemen, Sean Davies, ColoradoReinsman. I am here with a special boy today, and this is Nemo. Nemo is a big Warmblood. He came to me a couple months ago, 2 or 3 months ago now. He's a dressage horse. He's a coming 5-year-old dressage horse, or been in training for dressage. He was bred down in Texas. Apparently he was sold early on to a young lady down there. Took him off and was having some issues with him, and she was a teenager, and she was apparently getting some, a little fearful of him. He was kind of a butt head on the ground, and from the saddle he began to do things like grab the bit and run off and start bucking as soon as you got on him. Now, he'd had some real physical issues, and I think part of it was probably he was started pretty early. He was overworked. So when he came to me, my first session with him really showed me I thought that he had some physical issues. So we got my chiropractor in. I had put a surcingle on him, and his normal sweet demeanor changed in 5 minutes. This horse was very angry and just upset. And I said, I'll almost guarantee you this horse's sternum is out and some ribs. And when she adjusted him, his sternum was 1.5 inches out of place. So how does that happen? Many different ways. It was told to me by Nemo's current owner, lovely lady that brought him over here that wanted to see him have the best opportunity in life that he could, told me that people had mentioned that if he tried to bite you while you were cinching up, you should kick him in the ribs. Well, if you don't listen to what your horse is telling you and you punish him all the time, then he just gets a little more angry and he hurts a little bit more. When we had him adjusted, his ribs were out, his shoulder was out, his sternum was out, hips were out, stifles. He had a real issue with his stifles being inflamed. And that's typically from too hard a work and not enough good fluid working exercises. He had been up here for a couple months from Texas when he was bought locally, and he was at another dressage barn where I know where it is, and some of what I see there is kind of an old dressage structure of where they get on and they just ride around the arena, which I often say is pretty counterproductive to getting a young horse's mind relaxed and loosened up. So what I have done with him after we got his physical things pretty much taken care of, we're just getting him back into work after getting these stifles taken care of, getting some anti-inflammatories in on him. Yesterday I put his first ride on, and it was just as nice as could be because I did not just ride him around the around pen. I did a lot of circling, bending, and softening, and he never once tried to buck with me or actually run off. He showed me what he does and does not know. So we are going to put our second ride on him today. But we're going to run through some things, just basic groundwork. I'm going to move his feet for a few minutes before I go to put my saddle on. And I'm going to ride him with a Western saddle, just because when I'm teaching, I like a saddle that I'm going to sit in. Eventually we'll go to a dressage saddle. But for right now, while we're going to get him through all of his basic riding training and getting shaped up, I'm going to be riding in what I normally ride in. And he looks pretty good in a Western saddle, actually. But I'm going to just come over here and just get his mind on work. So what I've done with him, just like I do with everybody, basic groundwork. I'm going to ask him to back up. I'm going to ask him to move this shoulder and then go forward. So this is the kind of work, a lot of dressage horses, the only groundwork they ever get is somebody will put a big long lunge line on them, go into the middle of an arena, and kind of let them, what are you looking at? Let them run around for 3-4 minutes each way. There's not much building of their balance and shaping them and asking them to give to the halter, getting their mind on work. It's pretty much that horse running around a little crazy get them out of their initial anxiety level. And that's if they're lucky, if they get that. A lot of times it's pull them out of the stall, saddle them up. Then you spend about 40 minutes trying to calm them down so you can have a 10-minute good ride. Now, I don't blame anybody for that, other than somebody along the lines should think a little bit more about the horse being an athlete. When I was a younger guy and an athlete in school, playing football, running track, things like that, we spent a heck of a lot of time stretching, warming up, doing all exercises, loosening our body up. Why do you think these guys should be any different? Especially when I'm going to put 200 pounds of me and 45, 50 pounds of saddle on him. I've got to get this horse loosened up a little bit, get his brain on work. Because he's also a very young horse. So his mind is going to be a little young, and he might bounce around here and get a little excited because that's his nature. When he first starts working, he's going to bounce around, he's going to act like a little butthead a little bit, and I'm going to square him up and shape him up, and he's going to be fine. You know, he might go, "Oh, you're that damn mean sheriff." Yes. I said, "You can't be a butthead to me like you do to me." He's thrown his leg at me several times. I can pretty much see it coming almost every time. I see he's a pretty excited horse today. He's going to do a little buck run and stuff sooner or later if I give him the chance. But I might just work on picking him up, going the other way. Might change his mind before I see him losing his. I don't want him to lose his mind. I just want him to change his mind. You see him kind of high-headed and excited here. I'm going to lift that shoulder, move that shoulder, start getting his brain focused on me, paying attention. Move that shoulder. This is all in preparation to begin my work. Good boy. Good boy. Now, we don't think he's probably ever had a back cinch on before yesterday, or maybe even a western saddle on. He handled it very well. The back cinch tickled him a little bit. He kind of ran and humped a little bit, but he came out of it when we were round penning, and then he became just fine. He was just doing great. Hey, Junior. Back up. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, sir. Now this guy would run over you, kick at you, kind of rear up a little bit, do a bunch of little young horse butthead stuff that people didn't know how to redirect his energy the way that he needed. And give him some confidence and understand, hey, I'm looking to you to tell me what to do. So I'm going to go ahead and toss a saddle line. I'm going to let him smell this pad. Come over here. And see, I saddle from this right side for a lot of different reasons. Mostly because he's had a lot of work done on his left side, and I want to do some on his right side. Good boy. Good boy. I put my old Colt starting Wade saddle on. It's what I rode in yesterday. It's a little smaller seat than I'd like for him, but he's kind of got a short back and a wide wither. As this guy is, what, Oldenburg and quarter horse? So he's kind of got a quarter horse wither, and the length of leg and everything of the Oldenburg, but so my short Wade saddle actually sits on him pretty good. helps because it tickles him and he has to overcome the urge to twitch on you. Good boy. No, you don't have to bite the lead rope. You see, I want to give him the opportunity just to kind of hang out. Go up one on this side today. I know. But I will help you. I don't need your help with that. No, I don't. I really love Nemo's personality. He's got a great personality. He really tries to get along. Good boy. Good boy. All right, young man. So, he should be a lot more comfortable overall today, but I still won't put him past humping up a little bit with this saddle. Because he was biting at people when he was getting cinched up before. And you see now, he doesn't bite me. I just kind of let the lead rope hang there. Once you get him out of pain, it's funny how many behavioral issues start to disappear. Someone was saying to his owner that, oh, all Warmbloods have stifle issues, we just work through it. Well, that is not the way that I look at things. If you want the longevity of your horse, you might want to get those things taken care of. This horse is coming 5. If we did not get the inflammation in his stifles taken care of now, he could have started getting calcification and changes in his bone. And luckily, with the x-rays we got, he has got no changes in his bone. He just had tissue inflammation. So we're going to work on those things. We're going to make sure he feels good. If he feels good, he doesn't want to buck people off. And if he doesn't buck people off, then he actually is a good, productive horse, and the people get to come back and enjoy their horse and not hit the dirt all the time. So the concept of just letting the horse work through pain doesn't really meld with my philosophy on horse work. So I'm going to shape his shoulder up right here and ask him to trot. Let him feel that saddle a little bit. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. And if he gets excited, I don't care. We'll square him away. See, yesterday he was turning his head left and right, looking at that saddle. It was making noise, the strings are touching, the stirrups were bumping. And I had to straighten him up a couple times, quit bouncing around. And now, he's accepted it a lot better today. I told Jennifer, his owner, yesterday that I thought today would probably even be yesterday was fantastic, today should be 100% better than that. So we're looking good. And I'll just ask that rear end to step, direct, good boy, move that shoulder, head off this way. We've done a lot of ground driving with this boy, long lining when we couldn't ride him. We're doing a lot of long lining, really shaping him up, getting him to soften to the bit, which was fantastic because yesterday he did not once try to run through my hands too much. You know, he bumped against my hands, and I was teaching him how to get off my hands with my legs. So I was extremely pleased. Shape the shoulder up right there. Hold that shoulder up a little bit. Good boy. See, he had a tendency before to really push on you with his inside shoulder. So that'd be just pushing your inside leg. So a lot of what I do with this big boy is lift his shoulder up, get him flexible, get him to be able to move his rib cage, his neck, his shoulder. Good boy. Good boy. And again, we're still just warming up to do the work. I'm going to pick him up. Step. Step. Good boy. I'm going to bring him through and do a few quick changes. Really loosen him up. Changing. I've got to tighten up that cinch again here soon. Good boy. Good. Where are you going? What are you doing, man? I'm going to go one at a time. Because I think he was just cranked up on before, and if he protested, they'd kick him in the ribs, throw his ribs and the sternum out of place, and created a monster. We're going to create a Muppet. He's a big old Muppet, aren't you? Big, sweet boy. Yes, you are. Good boy. Just moving back and forth. Oh, you're cutting horse now. You're a cutting horse. What a lovely elevated trot this guy has. Yesterday I didn't even bother trotting. I'm not even worried about picking up speed until I have flexibility and give. So today may be a boring little ride for most people. But when you've got a horse that every time somebody sat on him, he immediately took off and tried to buck, believe me, boring is good. Now I'm going to step him out a little bit, get him out here, and see if I can't pick up a little bit of a canter without getting too crazy. So he picked up the wrong lead and rear end right there, just because he rushed through it. Pick him up. There we go. Bunny hopping again. He feels that back cinch. There he came out of it. Good boy. Good boy. See, if he started getting silly with that saddle, I could shut him down with Rehab. Bring him down to here. Good boy. Good boy. Pick him up, change him. This is the direction he kind of bunny hopped yesterday with the back cinch. And I'm going to hold up his shoulder. Good boy. Calm yourself down, get your legs right. So you rush that shoulder through there. I'm going to say, hey, Jay. He's all excited. Bring him back down. Pick him up. Good boy. No. Okay. Now I'm going to say, stop. Stop. Figure out where your legs are. Stop that. Now get back to work. Under control, young man. Now he's a big horse, so small circles are not real easy on him. Ask him to gently pick up and good boy. All good again. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. He's not going to buck with the saddle, so bring him back down. Don't want him cantering on this lead line on a small circle too much. Ease up. He is all excited. I'm ready to go. pushing through my energy. So I'm going to take a deep breath and wiggle it out in front of him a little bit. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Bump him and say, slow down. You don't get to run through me. Slow down. Slow down. Bump him. You don't get to run through me. That's not, hey, I didn't tell you to do that. I didn't tell you to do that. See, he zones out. He zoned out with people before. There you go. There, young man. Now I won't let him zone out when I'm wanting him. Just riding around the arena. If they're zoning out, it's very counterproductive. Good boy. Okay. So there's nothing different with the groundwork I do with this guy than I do with anybody else. I'm going to cinch him up one more time. I'm going to free round pin him. And then we're going to get on. So we're going to send Mr. Nemo around, just free round pinning. People say, well, what benefit is that? Especially the dressage horse. Communication. Getting these horses to work on their transitions with nice light movements. Try to get them to where they'll move without rushing off. Many things that benefit with a good free round pin session. It's not going to run through the halter here. See, he went off nice and calm. Now Nemo, when he first got here, you know, his head is looking outside. He's trying to pay attention to everything but what's going on in the inside. That's why this work is so important. We've been able to get him to start focusing in here a little bit. I'm going to stand up tall. Give him one little kiss. Good boy. Regulate my body language. Just try to keep him at the trot so he just doesn't run off into the canter. But if he did run off, as long as he's gone in my direction at first, the first 4, 5, 6 times around, I don't care what he does. But with him, I try to get a little bit more control. Good boy. Nice eating. Oh my goodness. Hold up that shoulder, then you can. Good boy. And he does, when he's not got a rider, when he does this little funky thing on his head all over the place, looks like a giraffe, right? Then he'll come out of it. And then if I point at that shoulder a little bit, get his attention, then he work a little bit. He says, oh, I'm not supposed to do that. Okay, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. We're not going to do a lot of free round pinning today. I was going to see you in a couple minutes each way to really loosen up his anxiety. You're not showing a lot of anxiety, you're showing energy. Good boy. Go ahead and lay down. Out there. Slow down. Now this horse has a hard time transitioning down to a walk. Free. So I'm going to ask him to come down a little bit. Slow down, I back off. Ask him again. Good boy. See, I don't jump way out in front of his horizontal line or drive line. I just get my hand and put some energy out in front of him. Then I'm going to change my tool, look at his rear end, hold his head, and see if he'll come to me. Because sometimes he likes to take me out. Good boy. Even if I get that, I'm happy. What are you doing? What are you doing over there? You're supposed to be over here. He goes, I wanted to get my best side in the light because I want to be famous. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. You're kind of a big old silly horse, aren't you? Yes, sir. And I like patting him, just kind of stimulating him. Oh. I'm not sure about that dang cat over there. Not sure. Oh, I know you got to be stimulated a little bit. Stimulated. Oh. You're embarrassing me, man. Thousands and thousands, maybe hundreds and hundreds of people will see this video and you'll embarrass me. Okay. We'll worry about that later. All right, Junior, let's go. So I'm going to look where I want him to go. And he said, no, I don't want to go that way. I'm saying, yes, you go that way. There you go. There you go. Hey. We're going to have to go do the same thing this way. He's going to run around a little bit, be all excited. See, I don't care about any of that right now as long as he's going in my direction. He says, now feel that back cinch going this way. Came out of it. What you did for 15 seconds yesterday. Oh! That was silly. That was even great. Thank you. Yeah, just switch this lead by pushing on your shoulder. Good boy. Good boy. Now I'm going to make cantering my idea. Hold up the shoulders again. Good boy. Don't get all silly. Don't get all silly. Good boy. Good boy. See that transition down was much nicer on this side. Pull that eye, look at his rear end, back away right here, turn sideways. I know. You're very excited. I know. I'm over here. You should be over here too. Good boy. See? It's much nicer over here. The light's softer. You get petted. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So he's nice and warm now. He's going to be much more loosened up. He's not sweating like a pig, but he's warm, he's stretched, he's loose. Now we're ready to go to work. So I'm going to go ahead and get my armor on and get this head stall on. We're going to go from there. All right, so we got everything ready to go. So I'm going to pick up here and just gently ask him to bend. And I love that. That's just as soft as silk. Now we ended in such a nice place yesterday that I want to pick up right on that same spot today. I want to just pick that right up where we left off. He was really relaxed. One thing I noticed, he does not have a real good smooth backup. Probably because he's been reined back a lot. And reined back is the term for backing your horse in certain circles. And I think they've missed the concept about using your seat in there somewhere. So he braces up against the bit when you're asking him to back up. So I have to get him soft and then change my seat and ask him to back up, and it's a much nicer backup and very smooth. So I'm going to go ahead, just because he has a history of kind of taking the bit when you get on and running off, I bend his head a little bit, but I've got to get him to stand still. Now he's kind of a tall drink of water, and I wanted him to learn to stand still when I bounce right here. And see how he moved right there. That's why my rein in the mane is bent. And then when he settles in, I can say, good boy. Now, instead of me sitting here and trying to flex him left and right at the very beginning with this particular horse, I am going to do movement. I'm just going to keep his head bent a little bit to the left, lift up this shoulder, and drive him around a little circle. Then I'm going to change my weight and pick up this shoulder and drive him around in a little circle with my outside leg. And get him soft right there. Very good. Good forward. I'm going to use my legs a lot. I'm going to be nudging him and bumping him and start doing some exercises. Then I'm going to switch my weight, switch my legs, bump him around this way. Pick up gently on that rein and get him to soften up. Bump him forward into my rein and get him to soften up. Right there. Good boy. See, that's real soft. I like that. Pick up. Good boy. As I bend him around my legs and change directions, I get his brain on me and change. Look where I want to go. Good boy. Good boy. Pick him up right here, bump him into my hands. Good boy. And let him walk a bigger circle. Good boy. I'm going to bring him through the middle and change. Bump with my right leg to move that shoulder. Bump with my left leg to bring him around. Now I'm going to ask the shoulder to move out. Then I'll bring him back around. So I'm getting flexibility in all my points. Left leg to move that shoulder, right leg to bring him around, left leg to ask that shoulder to move out. Good boy. I work my fingertips on those reins to get him to drop in on my reins and not pull on me. Change, right leg, look out diagonally, pick up that left or that right rein a little bit. Right there, I'm working it with my fingertips. Good boy. Nice and soft. Now I'm going to let him walk out a little bit. We give him the benefit of the doubt for a couple minutes and just walk around on a loose rein. And just hope he chooses not to get stupid that I have to correct him. Good boy. Let's do a 180. I'm going to pick up my rein, slide my hand, lift up right here with my finger, just like that, and go. See, I don't pull him into the turn. I shape him into the turn. Shape him right here. See, if we're going around his head's out, I'm just going to shape him up with that inside rein. Might put my inside leg on him. Pick up, slide. Use that middle finger. Lift up that shoulder. Let's do a 360 here. And then we'll go out. Good boy. The more I can be out of this horse's face, the better. The second I start pulling on him and he pushes into me, we got a wrestling match. Good boy. Good boy. I'll do a bunch of loose rein turns and changes of direction. Pick up, changes of direction. See, I'm not asking a whole lot of him right now. I'm just trying to get him to understand that riding can be a pleasurable, soft experience, that you get rewarded for when you do things good and you don't always get punished. As the dressage whip was used on this horse quite a bit. I knew that when I was ground driving him, because every time the rein touched him, he'd jump. And I asked the question, did somebody ride this horse? Did they ride him with the dressage whip? And then how many times did he get lit up? He got lit up quite a bit. You notice I don't have a dressage whip in my hand. And he's moving forward. And he's going off my leg. Funny how those things work. If you connect with your brain, you don't have to beat the hell out of it. Now, do I use dressage whips once in a while? I use a dressage bat. If I've got a horse that has a real issue moving forward, I might tap their inside hip a little bit to drive them around in my circles. Here, I'm going to drive him forward into my hands to get him soft and let him open my fingers, let him go right there. Good boy. Now, I'm going to do something today that I didn't do yesterday. All right, so I'm going to give him the opportunity to show himself and see if he'll get all excited in the transition to the trot. So I'm going to pick him up a little bit. See, he's wanting to drive his head forward and be on his front end. And that's kind of a habit that he used to do. And I was working on that from the ground. So I'm going to sit up nice and tall, drive him up. Circle here. Come on, let's go. Loosen him up in his trot a little bit. He's tight. He's tight with the rider on his back at the trot. Lift that shoulder. See, this horse has kind of had a history. He's showing me where he's had issues right now. And I'm not making him work too hard. I'm making him just move. Good boy. Tossing that right rear out. I'm going to hold that hip in. Good boy, that's better. That's better. doesn't know how to balance himself up at all. He doesn't have any balance. I know. Stirrup hitting the rail is all. So we got a lot more balancing work to do on this horse. I think a lot of riders have gotten in his way. Don't really know how to get him balanced up. Good boy. So for a second ride, he still hadn't thrown a buck, still hadn't tried to run off with me. I think he's doing his best. I've got to find a saddle that fits him a little better. This is a cold starting saddle I have for real short back horses with no wither. It's putting me a little bit far forward on him, so I'm going to get a better, I'm going to look at all my saddles and find one that fits him a little bit better. I can tell this saddle, it's made for small or short back horses, which he has a short back, but it's putting me a little bit far forward from where I want to be on him. And I want to make sure that's not an issue for him not being able to pick up that front end, which I think it is. But he's doing as much as he can, and he's really trying. I'm just kind of letting him relax right now. Do some more little turns. And ask him, whoa. Pick him up right here, say, no, get off that. Bend him a little bit, bump him with my leg. Right there, he protested. That's his first real protest. Pick him up. Let's say, can you get off my hands? There. Can you get off my hands? Let me use my legs. Can you get off my hands? Good boy. I'm going to change my seat. 1, 2. Okay, he felt that seat change and moved off of that, so I like that. You get him. You don't get to do that, young man. There, walk forward. Chase a cat. It's the little things in life. And whoa. Hey. See, he pushes and he runs through everything. So I've got to, there we go. And whoa, and back up. Don't fight my hands and get soft on me. 1, 2, 3. He's got to learn. That's a little better than it was yesterday. Now I want to see if he can get a little bit more flexible laterally. He pushes through the leg yield. So he's got to get so much softer up front. So much softer up front. Okay. Change my seat. And he's pushing through my hands, and then he drives that shoulder to my leg rather than stepping over. Step over. Good boy. Not perfect. We'll have to do until we get him light loose. One more time. Get my spur up underneath my back cinch. soft right here, break at the pole. Let's just ask him to step that hip over. That was lighter. That was lighter. Come on, one more. There we go, young man. That was a little lighter. Just pick him up, pick up that inside shoulder, and let's see if I can get him to start stepping that front end around. Step that front end around. One. One. You gotta move. You gotta move off that leg. You gotta move off that leg. There you go, son. Good boy. I'm gonna get my inside leg out of the way. Pick him up. Get him stepping across without fighting and pushing that front end in. There you go. See, you didn't pull my hands up last step. Good boy. So second ride, I think, is pretty good. Hey, soften in when I ask you to stop. Soften in when I ask you to stop. Come on, get off my legs. See, he doesn't like to stand still. Stop. He's doing, oh my God. Good boy. Now I'm going to ask him to bend. Yesterday he'd move around a lot with this. Don't do it. There we go. Much better than yesterday. He's learning. Pick up. I want to use the tip of a finger to ask him to bend. There we go. Good boy. Tip his nose. Shift him away. Good bend. Not perfect, but it's pretty good. Tip his nose past 2 o'clock. Stop that turn with the outside rein. Just lift it up and block that shoulder. Good boy. Don't eat my boot. Good boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Nemo. You're going to see quite a bit of him over the course of training, and he's living here now, so he's going to be a great horse. I think he's really coming a long way, and one of these days you'll get to see me in a nice little dressage outfit riding him and see how that looks. So we're going to finish up here with him. So feel free to keep an eye out for Nemo. He's going to be a wonderful horse. So stay tuned. Sean Davies, ColoradoReinsman.